Joining me now is Amin Saikal, who's Emeritus Professor of Middle Eastern, Central Asian and Islamic Studies at the ANU. Thank you for your time. The killing of the Hezbollah leader and indeed quite a lot of senior leadership, obviously there are regular killings, if you like, overall when it comes to Hezbollah leadership. But is this a next sort of step up? Is this really going to weaken Hezbollah, do you think?
Well, it is a major blow to Hezbollah, but of course it hasn't really crippled its capacity to still launch missiles and drones into Israel. I think the Israelis now set to go for land invasion, and it may really take the same pattern of operations as Israel has followed in Gaza. Air bombardment first, and then the land invasion, right at least up to Litani River, which is about 29 kilometers north of Israeli border, to clear out Hezbollah fighters and really break down whatever capability Hezbollah has in southern Lebanon.
The last time there was a ground invasion by Israel into Lebanon against Hezbollah was back in 2006. That actually ended up being fought to a standstill after a bit more than a month. Has the air invasion, though, the airstrikes, has that created a very different atmosphere this time around, and Iran's support appears to possibly be less than Hezbollah was hoping?
Well, Israel also carried out extensive air bombardment in 2006, but of course it really got trapped in the land invasion simply because Hezbollah was able to respond very effectively. And I think this time Hezbollah also would like to really see Israel drawn into a ground fighting, because that's where the strength of Hezbollah really lies, in order to be able to inflict heavy casualties on Israel, as it really done in the past. I think the Iranian reaction so far is that Hezbollah is capable of defending itself, but at the same time, I think Tehran is weighing its different options, because it does not want to really lose Hezbollah, because it is an important element in the national and regional security system that Iran has built.
Yes, and at the same time, it's wary. It wants sanctions lifted. It's in a precarious situation in terms of its economy. Do you think there's a chance that Hezbollah begins to lose its grip on power? It's, of course, stopped any sort of parliamentary votes going in the past couple of years. Is there a danger that it loses power in Lebanon?
Well, Hezbollah does have a lot of opposition in Lebanon, and it is being mainly supported by the Shia segment of the population, which is very substantial. But there are Sunnis and Christian and Druze elements who do not necessarily go along with Hezbollah on every policy direction that is implemented. And therefore, I think there is a considerable amount of opposition from within. But at the same time, if the Israeli bombardment causes more casualties in Lebanon and destruction in Lebanon, then I think you would find that many Lebanese may well line up behind Hezbollah, and therefore be in a position or enable Hezbollah to be more effective than Israel may have expected.
I guess it depends on the nature of it and how that plays out, but given the difficult field of combat, that could well be the case. Just finally, we've seen Hezbollah flags at Australian protests. This is a proscribed terror group. Is it a concern that the support has emerged that blatantly on Australian streets?
Well, yes. I mean, Hezbollah is designated as a terrorist organization by Israel and many of its international supporters, including Australia. But I would be very surprised that Hezbollah would like to really move against other sources than it has its hands full at the moment in fighting Israel.
Amin Saikal, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
My pleasure.